So in this video, we're going to be working with writing polynomial function given the zero, right? So if I have the zeros, I'm going to write the polynomial as a review, right? Remember that we saw in class that if c is a zero, then x minus c is a factor. So if I have the 1, 2, and 5 are 0, so that means that x minus 1, x minus 2, and x minus 5 are 0, right? I'm going to FOIL here, so I have x times x is x squared minus 2x minus x plus 2, right? And I'm going to do that x minus 5 at the end, so x squared minus 3x plus 2, right? Now, I'm going to multiply everything here, each one of this times each one of that, right? So x squared times x, so x cubed, x squared times negative 5 is negative 5x squared, negative 3x times x is negative 3x squared, negative 3x times 5 is positive 15x, then 2 times x is 2x, and then 2 times negative 5 is negative 10. And right here, I'm just going to simplify like terms, so 8x squared plus 17x minus 10. Now, on number 3, right? Again, so let's tie this, let's say y here, right? So in this case, y equals to x minus 2. I'm going to rewrite because I want to combine those two first, so x plus 2, right? Or let's do it so you can see it better. So it's x, the opposite of negative 2, so plus 2, x minus 2. Now this 4/3, right? So I have x plus 4 over 3, right? So that means that I can move that 3 in the front. So every time they have a fraction over here, we can move the denominator in front of the x, right? Remember that x, right? If x is a 0, so I have negative 4/3, so I can multiply times 3 here on both sides. So I have 3x equals negative 4, and then I can add that 4 on the other side, so 3x plus 4 equals 0, right? So I'm going to use that one, so 3x plus 4, right? I'm going to multiply here, so when you FOIL, you should have x squared minus 4, right? Actually, let's FOIL completely so you can see it, right? So x, then I have negative 2x, positive 2x minus 4, and then I have here 3x plus 4, right? So that means that right here I have x squared minus 4 times 3x plus 4, right? And now I'm going to FOIL again, so 3x cubed plus 4x squared minus 12x plus minus 16. And that's it because there's no like terms right there. Let me erase here just a little bit so I have a little bit more space. So on the next one, I have that x equals plus or minus, so x equals plus or minus 2 the square root of 3, right? So if I square on both sides, so I can cancel out that square root, I have x squared equals 2 4 times 3. So I have x squared equals to 12, right? And if I move that 12 there, I have x minus 12. So right here, remember that the plus or minus, if I solve this equation again, right? So this equals to 0 here. So if I solve this equation again, so if I move the 12, then take out the square root on both sides, I'm going to have the plus or minus. So in this case, I can just use this x squared. So y equals to x squared minus 12 times x plus 1, x minus 1. I'm going to start simplifying this right here. So, right, very similar to what happened over here when you have conjugate pairs where it's you just have x and the opposites there. These two are going to cancel out, right? So this is x squared minus 12 times x minus x squared minus 1, right? If you want to FOIL, you're going to cancel that 1x and negative x, right? So now I'm going to FOIL here, so x to the 4th minus x squared minus 12x squared plus 12, right? And this is x to the 4th minus 13x squared plus 12. So this one right here, I have x plus 7, x plus 1, x minus 3. I'm going to FOIL those two. It doesn't matter the order. You can FOIL those two first. At the end, you should have exactly the same. Of course, on the process, you probably are going to have different numbers down here, but your solution at the end should be exactly the same. Right here, again, I have x squared. Remember that what I told you, right? X equals to plus or minus square root of 2, right? If I square on both sides, I got x squared equals to 2. Then I can move that 2 over there, right? You have it right there. Right? I'm going to FOIL, so I have x cubed minus x squared minus 2x plus 2. So on this one, I think this is a little bit easier and less math to work with if we do like this. So I have x equals to 2 plus or minus square root of 5, right? If I move that minus 2 here, I have square root of 5 plus or minus, right? Then I'm going to square on both sides right here. So this one I have x squared minus 4x plus 4 equals 5. And then I'm just going to subtract the 5 on both sides. So 4x plus 1 equals 0. Or minus 1, right? Because I'm going to subtract 5. So minus 1 right there equals 0, right? And as you can see, this is the same thing that you have here. And I think that is a little bit easier to work like this than do all this that you have there with all those parentheses. At the end, it's the same, but I think that is a little bit easier, right? So then I'm going to FOIL with the x plus 6. So I have x squared is x cubed plus 2x squared minus 2x minus 6. Now, let's see what happens when I have a term with multiplicity, right? So it says 3 with a multiplicity of 2. So remember that means that I have y equals to x minus 3 squared, right? Times x minus 5. That's the multiplicity. So that means that I have x minus 3 times x minus 3 times x minus 5. So this one, you're FOILing or you're squaring a binomial, is the first square minus 2 times the first one times the second one, right? Plus the second one squared, so 9. Right? So this times x minus 5, right? If you don't remember doing this, you can just FOIL x times x times negative 3, and so on. So at the end, it's going to be the same. So you have x squared minus 6x plus 9 times x minus 5. I'm going to distribute again right here. So I have x cubed minus 5x squared minus 6x squared plus 30x plus 9x minus 45. Now I'm going to combine like terms. So x cubed minus 11x squared plus 39x minus 45. Yeah, so right here, again, because I have 0, so I have x minus 0 is x. Then I have x minus 1. Then I have, remember that this, again, I have x equals 5 over 2. So if I multiply times 2 on both sides, 2x equals 5. So 2x minus 5 equals 0. So 2x minus 5. Now it has a multiplicity of 2, so I'm going to square here. So this is x squared minus x times first one squared minus 2 times the first one times the second one. So 2 times 5 is 10 times 2 is 20. X plus the second one squared. Again, if you don't remember doing like that, you can just write 2x minus 5 then 2x minus 5 and just FOIL right there. Okay, so then I'm going to multiply, I'm going to distribute this parenthesis. So I have 4x to the fourth minus 20x cubed plus 25x. Then I have minus 4x squared plus 20x, or actually, it's x cubed, right? So it's negative x times 4x squared, right? Negative x times negative 20, and then 25x, right? So 4x to the fourth minus 24x cubed. I'm combining like terms here. then plus 20x squared plus 50x. Now I see my mistake here, so let me erase right here, right? So this one is 25x squared because I'm multiplying x squared times 25. So that means that this is plus 45x squared plus 25x. So number 9, you should have x plus 1 times x plus x plus 1, right? I'm FOIL on the first two parentheses, FOIL on the second two parentheses, and from there, I'm going to distribute everything, right? So you have 4x to the fourth plus 7x cubed minus 3x squared minus 11x minus 5. And then you have number 10 right there, right? So again, let's see. Here it says that conjugate root term. If a polynomial function has a complex zero, that means x plus bi, then its conjugate a minus bi is also a complex zero, right? So that means that right here I have 5 and 3i. So that means that also negative 3i is a zero. So that means that I have y equals to x minus 5 times x minus 3i times x plus 3i. I'm going to start by working with that one up here. So I have x squared plus 3xi minus 3xi minus 9i squared. Right? Remember that I squared is the same as negative 1, so I can substitute negative 1 there. So I have x minus 5. This cancel out, so I have x squared plus 9. And then I'm going to FOIL here, so x cubed plus 9x minus 5x squared minus 45. And I'm just going to rearrange it so it's standard form. So 13. Now remember that 2. So x equals to 2 square root of 5. So I'm going to start by squaring on both sides right here. So I have x squared equals to 4 times 5. So x squared equals 20. So I have x squared minus 20 equals 0. So that means that right here, so y equals to x squared minus 20 times x minus plus I. But again, if negative I is a 0, that means that positive I is also a 0. So x minus I. So x squared minus 20 times x squared minus xi plus xi minus I squared. Right? This cancel out. This becomes negative 1. So x squared minus 20 times x squared plus 1. Right? So I add x to the fourth plus x squared minus 20x squared minus 20. So x to the fourth plus or minus 19x squared minus 20. Okay, so number 12, I have x minus square root of 6, x plus the square root of 6, or again, remember that we can go like that. So I'm going to square on both sides, and I have x squared equals 6, so x squared minus 6 is the same thing that I have here. Right? Then I have 2i, so that means that I also going to have negative 2i as part of my zeros. So right here, you should have at the end x to the fourth minus x squared minus 24. 14, because I have 3 plus I, that means that I have 3 minus I is also a 0. So I have x plus 4, x minus 3 plus I, x minus 3 minus I, right? Then I'm going to FOIL right there, right? And at the end, I should have x cubed minus 2x squared minus 14x plus 40. And that's it for this lesson. May the force be with you.